Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. India leveled the series in Ranchi by beating South Africa by 7 wickets. This after a special performance from Shreyas Iyer and Ishan Kishan. And how good has Shreyas Iyer been in the ODIs this year? We'll get you all the details, but there is also a team that was playing at the WACA in Perth. They were playing their first warm-up game against Western Australia. I guess the Indian T20 team that is in Australia for the World Cup. They were playing their first warm-up game against Western Australia, and they have won that game by 13 runs. Ashok Malhotra is here with me. We'll get you the details as well, sir. The good thing is that even if it is a warm-up game, India won it, and that would, obviously mean that that's a good start for them. They would like that. But I want to ask you, how is it that teams approach matches such as these before the World Cup? You know, it's a warm-up game. Is it more about experimentation? It's about giving game time, because Virat Kohli and KL Rahul did not play. They were rested. So how do you think the team approaches a warm-up game like this?
I think basically the fringe players, or the players we want to test them. Somebody like Arshdeep Singh, who's touring for the first time, we want to test him how well he bowls. He would like to test himself how well he bowls in Australian conditions. And even Bhuvi, who has been taken for cleaners in the last few games, he would like to bounce back. So definitely it's a good thing. But I may somehow don't agree with giving a long rest to Virat and KL Rahul. They're just getting back into rhythm. They're just getting back into the form. And form once you are among the runs, you should carry on, because if you take a break, you start from scratch. Tomorrow, if the next game they play, they don't score runs, then again the same thing will come into their mind. So I think they should carry on, because I understand Rohit is going through a bad patch. He's not scoring runs, and once again he got out cheaply. He can take a break probably, and come back later. But Virat and KL should play regularly, because I think we'll lead both of them in the World Cup.
It's interesting how Suryakumar Yadav hasn't taken a break. I know that Virat Kohli and KL Rahul both were given a break in the last T20 International against South Africa. So they were given a break, but Suryakumar Yadav has been playing non-stop. Now, for all of you who are wondering what the result was, let's just take you through the result, because this match wasn't televised anywhere. So this is the result. India ended up scoring 158, batting first. Suryakumar Yadav once again shining with the bat, scoring 52. Hardik Pandya scored 29. Deepak Hooda came in at number 3 and scored 23. But Rishabh Pant, whose name does not feature here, he was given another opportunity to open the innings with Rohit Sharma, and he scored 9, rather struggled for those 9 runs of 17 deliveries. Rohit Sharma scored just 3. But in reply, India's bowlers got off to a fantastic start in the power plays, reducing Western Australia for 29 for 4 in their first 6 overs. Arshdeep Singh, that's 3 wickets for him, giving away just 6 runs in 3 overs. So he is really warming up to the conditions there. Then there's Yuzvendra Chahal, 2 for 15, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar also 2 for 26. So the ones who've been performed well yet again in this. Arshdeep Singh, but this is good now, because I mean, so much of this is also about figuring out what the conditions are, isn't that so? I mean, you are playing on a completely different pitch in India. You go to Australia, you've added 2 warm-up games just so that you can figure out what the conditions are going to be, what the pitch is going to be like.
And definitely so. I'm very happy for Arshdeep Singh. He's taking to Australian wickets like duck to water. And another one is Yuzvendra. Probably he likes the bounce and the bigger grounds. So which will help his kind of bowling, because we need wickets in the middle order, and Bhuvi. He probably gets his swing back, which he was lacking in Indian conditions. So it is good news for Team India that bowlers are doing well. Batters, we know, so as Suryakumar Yadav, I still don't understand, if you want to give a break to KL Rahul and Virat Kohli, why Suryakumar Yadav is an exception? Because you don't want to give him a break. I understand, but why you giving a break to Rahul and Virat? I would never understand. But the fact is, team was a good match practice for team. Although it's a team Western Australia, and believe you me, all these Australians are tough nuts. They don't give in easily. So it was a wonderful performance, and I think 2-3 games like that, it will give Indian team a lot of belief and confidence. And if our bowling comes good, Meha, the way it has come, early days, but if it comes good, then we can be strong contenders for the World Cup.
This even as we don't know who is going to be replacing Jasprit Bumrah just yet. Mohammad Shami was to undergo a fitness test. There are, there are no updates from the BCCI on that, so we don't know what is happening on that front. But let's then move on to the ODI match that India played against South Africa, and how good was India. So, this is really an opportunity, Ashok, so we've been talking about this, for the bench strength to put their hand up and say, look, we're here. In case you ever need us, we can perform. And that's exactly what Ishan Kishan did, brought down the pecking order. Last South Africa series, I remember, when South Africa were here the last time, which was in June, he was right up there. He was being seen as India's backup opener for the T20 World Cup, and how things have changed, where Ishan Kishan now is in the ODI squad, nowhere in the T20 World Cup plans. But all these players also know that that's the kind of the depth that India has, the talent pool that India has. So despite the pressure, this was an incredible performance from Ishan Kishan.
Definitely so, Meha. I think, he's knocking at the doors, but he must be thinking, is he banging his head against the wall? Because nobody is looking at him. Despite of him performing, the sixers he hit, he's a very short-statured guy, but he packs a lot of punch. And it was unbelievable. And, we keep talking about Shubman Gill, who is a blue-eyed boy of social media. We never talk about Ishan Kishan, and nobody, we are discussing Ishan Kishan. But tell me if there is any discussion on Ishan Kishan in any media house, any newspaper, any social media, no.
Yeah.
But that guy is performed. He's always performed whenever given an opportunity. And not to forget, he's been not a down in pecking order in batting, even in wicket keeping. Now is the number 3rd or number 4th wicketkeeper in the world, in India. So I really don't understand. And he once again, he reminded, if I may say, shook the management and the selectors with a phenomenal knock. And mind you, it was against a full-fledged South African bowling attack, which is going to play in the World Cup, and which anyway is a very, very ferocious. If you talk about Nokia, Rabada, they are unbelievably good. Maharaj, they're good bowlers, and against them, they made their target look so easy with some outstanding play.
Then also talk about Shreyas Iyer. He's in the reserve, so he obviously knows that if there's any injury, God forbid, then he will be part of that squad. And he also knows that what's at stake, sir, every time that he goes out to bat. He knows that, it's difficult in that middle order to make a position for yourself, to, with Suryakumar Yadav doing so well, Hardik Pandya, we know he's just such a crucial part of that side. The top 3 are decided. You're really struggling for place there. In that sense, Shreyas Iyer in ODIs this year has been phenomenal. And, one can't help but feel bad for him, that he's doing everything. He's striking even in T20Is at 140 plus. He's averaging 40 plus. He's averaging even better in ODIs. So in white ball format, he's been phenomenal, but just hasn't found a place in that World Cup squad.
Absolutely, man, it's surprising. Believe you me, because I know if I would be in Shreyas Iyer's shoes, I would know what more I can. He has been sidelined for the simple reason that he is a bit suspect against short pitch bowling. I don't care about the short pitch bowling. If he's averaging that, his strike rate is phenomenal, and he keeps you winning matches. So why should I short pitch bowling? They did bowl short pitch bowling to him, Rabada, Nokia, and he dealt with it comfortably. But you can't sideline a guy just because some kind of a weakness. Give him a chance to come out of it, and he has been performing. This is probably is a 5th or 6th 50 plus total.
Yeah.
So continues. He's been scoring continuously. He's not had a failure yet. and he was sidelined because I understand people would have played brilliantly against Ireland, everything right, but Shreyas Iyer has done no wrong. He should not be in the side. He should have been in the side, original side, and he's a guy who can turn things around. Who can win you matches, and he has done it for any side. He has played, beat Mumbai, beat in India in Test cricket, in T20 cricket, or ODI. So he's a match winner, if I may say, and I think he deserved to be in the side.
Yeah, so looking at those numbers, so you're right about him scoring back-to-back 50s. He scored 5 50s in last 6 innings, 100, of course. The last match, 113 not out, carried the bat through, carried his team to win. But 113 not out in the last game, 50, 44, 63, 54 and 80. And this, of course, includes these 50s, you know, this includes his performance overseas. I mean, this is when he batted well against the West Indies, but he has been in good form. We've been saying that's but also what also stands out about Shreyas Iyer is in a team that struggles very often against spinners, Shreyas Iyer has been brilliant against spinners.
And he's a big hit. He's the one who can rotate the strike, can play big hits, give you acceleration. I mean, he's a man for all seasons. You know, I understand you've got a settled 1, 2, 3. Whether they perform or they don't perform, they are going to be part of it. So it must be hurting these youngsters because time is going away. Yeah. You know, time is, you know, they're getting older. They're getting, every year they're getting a year older. So the youngsters will be coming and then you'll say, oh, they are too old. You know, so that is not fair of them. Somebody like Shreyas Iyer, somebody like Ishan Kishan, even Sanju Samson. I mean, he's coming of age, although a bit late in the day, I must say. But he's another one you can take, but these two really ticked all the boxes in the yesterday game. They batted magnificently, batted brilliantly, and have once again showed the world that the kind of bench strength Team India has.
Absolutely. Let's also take a look at India's top run getters in ODIs this year. And of course, right at the top of that list is Shikhar Dhawan. How brilliant has he been? He's an ODI stalwart, a veteran really. 559 runs for him. And Ashok sir, we were talking about how he just goes about his job. No, he's so chilled out. That's the word for him. But then Shubman Gill in number 2 spot, he would be ruining the opportunities that he's got here where he's not been able to score runs, but he's been phenomenal. Then there is Shreyas Iyer, like we said, he has been scoring runs. I mean, for all the talk around, you know, how he's not able to bat against short pitch deliveries, and that's how opposition's getting him out. He's scoring a lot of runs in both formats, be it the ODIs or the T20Is, because he is, if he's the 3rd highest run scorer here, then in T20Is, he's the 4th highest run scorer. Rishabh Pant then is in the number 4th position. Sanju Samson is in number 5 with 246 runs. He's not in that list, but these are the top 4. Sanju Samson also there. You are right about this, sir. The chances that, you know, time is running out really for them as well. They'd be thinking, what, this World Cup, when are we going to... And obviously all of them will now think of the ODI World Cup next year, because that's now the big thing that they'll all be hoping to do. So from their point of view, this series matters. Even as the fans are obsessed about the T20 World Cup and the squad and the warm-up game, for these players, this series matters because that's how strong this Indian depth is. You know, someone suggested something very interesting. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, that maybe now we need to have a series where we play India versus India A and India B, like a tri-series of sorts, because we have that kind of a talent pool to choose from, and, you know, it could turn out to be a very interesting series. What are your thoughts on that?
It happened when Australia was on top. Australia B defeated the original Australian team. Yeah. So it can happen. Believe you me, it can happen. We have got enough bowlers, we have got enough spinners, we got enough wicket-keeper batters and enough batters. And they might upstage the superstars. You know, because the problem, Meha, is when you get 2, 3, 4 superstars, one whole generation gets wiped out. Because they keep performing, they keep scoring runs, but they don't get a look at. So that is a very, very frustrating part. And that is exactly what has happened to the likes of Ishan Kishan, Shreyas Iyer, Sanju Samson, even somebody like Rahul Tripathi, who he hasn't got a look in yet, but he's a phenomenal player again. So there are a whole lot of them. They must be ruining their chances. Okay, what more can they do? Like for Shreyas Iyer. Now we had a list. Top five are not even in T20 side. Out of top five, top four are not in the T20 side. So that is unthinkable. In any other country, they would have been definitely in any side. They will walk into any side, except for Team India. And sometimes you wonder, do we keep going to the people who are we hoping for them to get back into form and keep ignoring the people who keep scoring runs, who are in form? So that is for me a very, very big cause for worry.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, that is true. Top 3 run getters not in that list. Sanju Samson is not in that list, who's in the 5th position. But the other thing also is, sir, because there has been so much of this resting some of the players for ODIs, because ODI is not really the format that, you know, the core players needed to play, which is what the management thought. Of course, you and I could think differently. But it almost seems like that look, ODIs this year really do not matter, so let's just send all these other players, the fringe players, so-called fringe players, and let them go play ODIs, because most of the other, your top players were rested for most of the series through the year when it came to ODIs. That's another thing why, you know, these guys have scored runs, but they've not been rewarded. And that's something that, of course, it's a bit unlucky, because that's how Indian cricket system is also, because there's so many good players, but you know, that's how the team management also is.
But may I, if I go with your theory, then next year it is a 50-over World Cup. Then all these guys will be playing T20 cricket, and those guys will be playing one day. So that is not fair of these guys. You know, that is what I'm saying. I mean, there has to be same yardstick for everybody. You can't have different yardstick for different people.
Yeah, suddenly when the main team comes back, then what happens to these players despite having performed so well? I think they just wait for their chance. But sir, let's also talk about India's bowling. It was important that Indian bowlers do well. It's been a while since we've seen a perfect performance from India's bowling attack. In the match yesterday, we saw that, because they got off to a good start, didn't let South Africa run away in the power plays. And Mohammad Siraj, now he can get a look in for the World Cup. We still don't know whether Mohammad Shami is fit enough to go, as much as the team management wants Shami to be there for his experience. But Siraj is also doing everything he can. After, you know, how he performed in the last game, he's come back strongly, sir. 3 for 38, economy of 3.8, and crucial wickets there of Quinton de Kock. But more than that, Risa Hendricks, who, you know, had created a good partnership with Aiden Markram in the middle overs to break that partnership. And then, of course, Siraj bowled beautifully in the death overs as well. So this is good for Siraj and for the Indian team.
I think he showcased his talent. There's no two ways about it. And when India won yesterday's game, I know it was wonderful batting by Shreyas Iyer and Ishan Kishan, but it was thanks to the 30-40 ball where we did not concede a boundary. And Siraj was a main bowler in that. I would give a lot of credit to Shardul Thakur too. You know, he bowled magnificently. He once again showed that he put his hand up. So all in all, our bowling came good, which was struggling, especially in the slog overs. And they lost the game in the last 5-10 overs, which they have been winning up till now. So I think hats off to Siraj. We did talk about Siraj in the preview, that it is an opportunity for him. And he really put his hand up and said, yes, I belong here. I belong, and I should be in Australia. And, you know, Shami, there's still a mystery how long they're going to wait. I know they got October 50, but they need to clear it up. They should make clear who is going, because we know Deepak Chair is injured. So now it is between Siraj and Mohammad Shami. So to Mohammad, whosoever goes.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you there, but I had a conversation, a very short conversation with the chairman of selectors today. And I was very curtly informed that I should be putting that question to the BCCI and not to him, when I asked him whether he had any updates on Mohammad Shami. I said, would you know of whether the fitness test has happened and who seems to be going? There is no clarity. And he said, why are you asking me? You should ask the BCCI. So how do you react to that as well? And I mean, are you saying that I shouldn't be asking him? Was I wrong in asking him, sir?
No, not at all. I mean, every Indian has this question, and it is if you can't ask the chairman selection committee, especially you being the media, if you can't ask him, then I don't know whom you're going to ask. You can't go and ask the president of the sector. You're going to ask the chairman selection committee because he's one of the selectors. He's the one who's going to select. So he has the know-how.
Yeah.
He's a dear friend, but the fact is, but that is what I am not liking. You're playing very close to your chest. What is it? There's no harm in telling the people, okay, X guy is going or Y guy is going, and even if he's going through test, you should go and tell him, okay, once he clears his test, he will be on the plane to Australia. Yeah. So there's no harm in it. I don't know why they play so close to their chest, and why there is so much of mystery around it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, because I was at the receiving end and I had no answer when I was just told, look, it's not, how should I know? Please ask the BCCI. And I said, okay, then I'm going to end this conversation here. But sir, this is good now. Hopefully, because it's been raining here in Delhi and NCR, hopefully we will, we'll get some respite from the rain, because the match is in Delhi at the Arun Jaitley Stadium tomorrow. And India have leveled the series, so this is a winner-take-all. The good thing, though, is that India have shown what they're capable of. There's one thing that the team looks good on paper, but it's, coming good on the ground is what was needed, and they've done that after the loss in the first ODI. What are you expecting from the final ODI?
See, as we discussed before, they have a point. They want to show the world that they can win without the superstars. This team, when these kind of guys get together, they want to prove a point to the management, to the selectors, to the entire world that we belong here. So that what is the best way? Everybody loves a winner. Best way is to win the game, win the series, and tell them we did it without you guys. So we are almost at par with you. Maybe we don't have such big names or such good record, but we are at par with you, and we deserve a chance. So I think that is why they all will gel together. They will play well together, and they must have a great camaraderie among them just to prove a point.
Okay, with that, we'll wrap this up. Ashok Malhotra, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. He's in Indore for the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Hopefully, we'll get him tomorrow for the third and the final ODI preview. That's it from us. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest from the world of sports. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.